G'day folks, Sapper here with another World of Warships video. Welcome to BLUF, or Bottom Line Up Front, a series where I review ships but give you the need to know first thing and the in-depth meat further on. Think of it as a ship review video but with a TLDR. Many players have Texas in their port thanks to events, recruiting rewards, Santa crates, or because she's got a lot of history. So here's my review of the Tier 5 US Navy battleship Texas, nicknamed the Mighty T. The bluff for Texas is that she is a slow and reliable dreadnought that is an improvement over New York in most regards. While her reputation as an AA platform no longer stands tall, her 10 guns pack a decent punch, she has great torpedo protection for tier and respectable turret angles. Texas is a good ship to learn or refine battleship fundamentals in if you have the patience for her. Texas is a solid, run-of-the-mill Dreadnought-style battleship. This means she is really slow at 20.5 knots, has great citadel protection, and 10 356mm guns in twin turrets. Texas is similar to the Tech Tree New York, however has slightly adjusted specs, the most notable of which are the firing angle of her third turret, better AA, and improved torpedo reduction. Her guns are reliable up to around 16 kilometers, outside of that are subject to RNG. The Texas armor scheme involves a lot of armor in the citadel section, owing to her dreadnought design. This can make it difficult for enemies to land citadels on her unless she is showing a flat broadside. Because of her profile and shape, it is common to eat pens from other battleships at any angle. This is because not only do her bow and stern have the standard Tier 5 battleship 19mm plating, but a large chunk of her upper middle armor section is as well, and 19mm is overmatched by every battleship in the game. Thankfully, most battleships around Tier 5 do not have the accuracy to abuse this armor, but when RNG is unkind, you can take massive chunks of damage in a single salvo. Texas has traditionally been considered an AA version of the New York. While she has impressive DPM for her AA guns, they are hindered by their 3.5km range that is common for mid-tier battleships. The problem with this short range is that DPM is reliant on a period of time being spent in the AA bubble. Most other battleships around her tier also have a share of their AA as flak, which can often be more reliable thanks to ranges out to 5 kilometers. With such a small AA range, Texas never really has much of a chance to pump out AA damage prior to an enemy drop, meaning she is not the AA monster that she used to be, and subsequently it's not worth speccing into AA. Texas is a good ship to play if you are an inexperienced or basic level player, particularly if you are trying to learn the ins and outs of battleships. Her AA value and reputation mean that some aircraft carriers will avoid you, and your slow speed will inhibit you from pushing into the enemy too quickly. The real advantage is the more forgiving gun angle on the third turret, which means that she shows less side than New York, thus being punished less. Intermediate and advanced players will find her as easy to play as any other Tier 5 battleship, but will be frustrated by her speed. Getting good results isn't difficult when middle tier, but when pitted against Tier 7 cruisers, Texas is quickly roasted and doesn't have the speed or concealment to escape. The trick to playing Texas is the same as any other battleship. Don't overextend, don't show broadside, stay angled, and don't rush your shots. Texas rewards good fundamentals and doesn't overly punish mistakes. Now to the build. Texas has no module options, but for consumables, pick up Premium Repair, Heal, and Spotter aircraft in that order. If you are newer to the game, skipping on the upgraded Spotter aircraft is perfectly reasonable, as you are unlikely to land many shots at its extended range. To upgrades, Main Battery 1, because she does lose turrets. I've found the third turret to be the primary culprit. Auxiliary Mod is perfectly viable with or without AA spec, but I recommend Main Battery 1. Damcon 1 because tankiness, you're a battleship. Main Battery 2 for third slot because the other options just aren't needed. US battleships don't get access to aiming systems, but instead get access to artillery plotting. As Texas is unreliable beyond 16 kilometers, and you have a spotter plane anyway, turret traverse is God. Now to captain skills. The captain build highlighted now is the Halsey US battleship build for those interested. Halsey is the legendary US commander you get from completing the Hit Hard, Hit Fast, Hit Often campaign. This build is good for Montana and works on other US battleships. The Texas build is a little bit different and is as follows. Preventative maintenance, because turrets are your bread and butter. Adrenaline rush for DPM, or if you are newer to the game, expert marksman for comfort. Basics of survivability to reduce fire duration, and fire prevention to reduce fire chance for 10 points. From here you have a decision to make, to get Concealment Expert or not. For a pure Texas captain, it's not overly necessary and frees up 4 points. I personally would run Concealment Expert because just about every battleship after tier 5 you need it. If you do want Concealment Expert, pick it up here for 14 points. Regardless, after that pick up Superintendent and then Expert Marksman or Adrenaline Rush, whichever you missed the first time round. If you didn't go with Concealment, I recommend Jack of all trades, Expert Loader and Priority Target. The full bottom line for Texas is that she is a slow, reliable tier 5 battleship. While not the strongest in tier, she can handle herself well and is a good ship to learn the ins and outs of battleships with. Sadly, her AA is no longer the shield it once was, but thankfully she has enough going on in other areas that she is still a strong ship. Her nice combination of 10 guns, good torpedo protection and respectable gun angles means she isn't as unwieldy as some other battleships at tier 5. If players can work around her speed, they will find a good battleship with a lot of prestige and history behind her. Basic level players will find her a reliable ship they can work on their aim, angling and positioning with while getting decent results, and intermediate and advanced players will be able to affect the outcome of many battles. The Mighty T is solid, reliable and patient. So how does Texas compare for noobs or skills? Noobometer? 7 out of 10. Texas is tanky and a great way for players to learn fundamental battleship techniques. Inexperienced players will find that she's the perfect option to sit around in the lower tiers and practice, while earning some credits or training some captains. Skillometer? 6 out of 10. Texas is solid but doesn't offer many chances to outplay opponents when compared to some of the quicker or tankier options at tier 5. My recommendation is if you are struggling with your battleship fundamentals or want to train up a new US captain without the stress of high tier gameplay, give Texas a few spins and let this remarkably long-lived ship give you time to catch your breath. I wouldn't go out of my way to purchase her, but if you have her lying around, she can be fun to dust off from time to time. Thanks for watching folks, I hope you found this BLUF useful and informative. Let me know what you think of Texas down in the comments section, and if you want to see a BLUF on a specific ship before I look at doing another line, let me know down there as well. Thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next one.